Hello dear friends, welcome to this tutorial. Let's see what you want to build in this tutorial. This is my application. It's a weather application. It shows the weather of my location. It's built with Python. Let's see how it works. Let's run it. As you can see, it's running. It first get my location. As you can see, this is my location. And after the location, it check the weather for the exact location. My weather situation is broken clouds and temperature is 2.95 Celsius. You can also change it to Fahrenheit and it's also show the humidity. You can also display more information. Okay, this application is built only with Python and it is really easy to build. By making such project, you will learn how to use APIs and it will help you to learn Python much better. Okay, now let's build this project. I make a file. I call it weather.py because it's a Python project. Let's open it. Open it with Visual Code Studio. You can open it with any code that you like. Okay, the first thing I have to do is to import a library or a module. I import the request. This import the request module, which is used to make HTTP requests to external APIs. How you can do that? We say import requests, and after that we have to create a function. So I define a function. I call it get weather. Inside this function, I give it an argument. I say API key because we use an API. And what this function does, we first of all need to get the location based on the IP address, and after that we can get the weather of that location. So we defined a function named getWeather, and it take an API called an argument called API key. Okay, after that I'm going to get the user location based on IP. How you can do that? First of all, I have to make location URL, the API location. This is the URL of the API, and this is it. I have to copy that one and like this. This is the API which we're gonna use. This script send an HTTP request to this website and to determine the user's approximate location based on the IP address. Okay, so after that we have to send a request. How we can do that? I make a location response, and this is equal to, I use the request, and I want to get, and from where I want to get. Like I said, this request is used to use in APIs. So we have to give the API URL, and this is it. We put it here, and after that, what we want to get from this API. This API will give us an output in JSON, so we have to say .json because the output is a JSON, and it gives us an output like this. It gives us the status, the country, the city, zip, latitude, longitude, and much more information. We only need the city and the country. Okay, so how you can get the city and the country from this response? It's very easy. I create a variable called city, and from this location response I want to get the city. This city is this one. Okay, this one, this name. If you want to get the status, you copy this, and just like that. And we also need to get the country. So the country is equal to location response dot get country. Now we have both the city and the country. Now we wanna check if the API doesn't give us this data. You have to print an error. So we check if not city or not country, then print enable to determine your location. We print this error and we return to stop everything. So what exactly this does? If the location API fails to return the valid city or country, the function prints an error message, this message, and exit. After this, we have to print the location. We have to print the location information to indicate which city weather will be fetched. And that's really easy. Just make sure you're inside this function. Okay, don't go like this. You should be here. And I say print fetching weather for city. You have to put it inside these brackets, okay? And country. And we want another line. Let's put this one. Okay, let's see if everything is okay. Yeah, well, we need to add an if in here because we use these variables. We have to use this if to allow the variable inside this string. Okay. After that, we have to fetch the weather from using this location. And for that, we use another API. So you want to fetch weather data from, I use an API called OpenWeatherMap. Okay, first of all, just like before, we put the API URL, and this is http slash API dot open. You can also search it in Google. Okay, this is it. To use it, first of all, you have to go to inside its website and create an account to get your API key. And that's really easy. You just go to its website and create a new account. And this is its website. All you have to do is create an account and get your API. Just as easy as that. Okay, let's go back to our code. We put the URL api.openweathermap.org/data/2.5 and /weather. I think it's like that. To make sure, we can go to its documentation, right? Let's make sure our URL is correct. And yeah, this is it. This is for map. Okay, with the map, we need weather itself. Where is it? Okay, there is it. And yeah, that's correct. Just like that, you also get a JSON response from this API. So it's correct. So we have to send some data, some prompt to this API to get a response. And what are those things we have to send? We have to send the location where we want to get this weather, the city, and we also send the API and the unit. Those are the information we need to send. Okay, how we can send those data to this API? It's very easy. We make a variable, I call it prompts, and this is equal to, we open a bracket, and inside this one, first we have Q. It is the city name. We use Q for city name, and this is, we already have our city. We just put it here. Yeah, make sure to add an F otherwise you can't use it. And after that we have app ID, and this is our API. We don't have it yet, but we will make it in a moment. And we also have to send another thing, which is units, and I want mine to be metric. You can use different unit. We have to send this prompt to this API, and once you have done that, we get a response. How you can do that? Using this library requests. So we say response equal to, we use request.get, and we put our weather URL, and the second prompt is the data you want to send here. Just put a comma, and after that this prompts. Remember, this is prompts the API need, which will be equal to your prompt. Okay, this is your prompt, and it will send this data and get the response, and the response will be stored inside this response. It's not that hard, it's easy. That's how APIs work. And just like that, the script send an HTTP GET request to this OpenWeatherMap API, and it will give the parameter. After that, we have to check the API response, and you also need to extract the weather data. How you can do that? We say if our response status, let's say, what was it? Our response has something called status. Let me find it. Okay, let's go back. It is a status code. Our response status codes mean if the API request is successful, it must be equal to 300. If the API is not working or give us an error like that, this will not be 200, which means we didn't get any data. But if it's the case, if it's true, we got the data. So we have a response, and we have to convert it to JSON, and that is, we make a variable called data, and this is equal to, from this response we convert it to the JSON, and after that we extract the data from data. Don't be confused. So the first thing is the weather. From this data we want the data is look like this, okay, something like this, and we have this weather. Okay, so from this data the first thing I have to get is the weather, and from the weather I need to get description. Okay, from the weather I want to select the first thing because it's only one, and from there I want to select this description. We can do that. After the weather we have to put 0 because we only have one thing inside this weather, and after that we're gonna get the description, and that's it. We have it. I also want to capitalize it and make it looks good. And after that we also need to get a temperature from this data. I wanna let me see where's the temperature. In the main we have temperature. Okay, so in data we select main, and from the main we select temp, You also need to get some more data if you like fields like this is equal to data from main. We have this fields like. You can get more information like humidity, cellular gradient, a lot. But I just wanna display a few of them. I also wanna show the humidity. This equal to data. This also the main. So the main we get this humidity. Okay, that's enough. We got this data from the API and now we have to print it. I want to print the weather, and this is equal to this weather. So inside this bracket I put it, I have to use an F so I can use it. And I also want to print the temperature. This is temp, this one. I also put the degree because it's a Celsius. You'll see. I also say feels like. This feels like. And let's see. I also want to print the humidity. This is equal to this humidity. Okay, just like that. And it will print the weather information for us, but we also have to check if it's not like that. So else make sure to quality back to be aligned with this if. If this is not the case, if you didn't get this information or there is a problem or whatever, we print error fetching weather data, please check your API. Okay, and that's it. Oh, one important thing is our API key. I have to create this variable called API key and put our API key inside it. So we're gonna do that. The first thing I have to do is to check if something like this name is equal to main. Okay, this is a Python function. What it does, this ensure the script only runs when executed directly and not important as a module, because if you want to make this as a module you don't need to do that, but because my project is not a module and it's not will be okay if you have a big Python project, if you don't do this and import it from somewhere else, it will make lots of problem. Okay, maybe there is more API keys, anything like that, it will mess up things. For that reason we do this check to make sure it's a main project. And after that I have to put my API key inside this function. I call it API key, and this is equal to, I put my API key inside this and send this to my function. My function name is getWeather, and I'll run my function from here. So it basically only runs if this is the main project. If it's imported from somewhere else, it will not run this function, so nothing will be executed. Okay, I have to put my API key here. As I told you, all you have to do is go to this OpenWeatherMap website and you have to log in here, and I'm logged in. Once I'm logged in, I have to go to my API keys, and this is my API key. Okay, you can generate more API keys, you can edit and delete it. I copy my API key and put it here and save. And now let's run my weather.py project. Let's run it and see if it works. Okay, Python. My project name is weather.py. First of all, it should get the location, and after that the weather. I hope it works and there's no error. Let's run it. Okay, there's a problem on line 24. Okay, let me check. Line 24. Let me see what's the problem. The response. Okay, this shouldn't be an equal. This should be 2 equal. Just like that. Okay, this must be exactly 200. And save it, and let's run it again. You always get an error on your first run, but that's not a problem. Let's run it again. Okay, there's another error. Okay, it is, I think, the same problem, and here it should be equal, not 1 equal. Okay, and let's run it again. This time it should work. Let's see. Yes, it got my location, but it didn't get the weather information. Let me check what's the problem. Okay, I found the problem. The problem was with this capitalized. I mistake the spelling, and it should be like this. And save it, and let's run it again. Python weather.py. Let's py, and hopefully it works this time. Let's run it. Yes, it got my location, and it shows the weather. This is the weather, and the temperature, and also the humidity. It works. Let's run it again, and now I should get a different result, or I don't know if the weather changed that fast, but let's see. Oh yeah, it didn't change, but after a few hours if you run it, the weather will be different. And let's run it again, and it worked very nicely. And because I use a VPN, let me change my location. Let's use another location. Okay, I'm now connected to another location. Let's run it again. It would show me, it must show another location and get the weather of that location. Let's see. Yes, now we are in the United States. It get that location from the Columbus, United States, and it shows the temperature, humidity, and just like that. So what exactly we learned in this tutorial? To use APIs and display those, how to learn we learned how to use the APIs, how to send data to API, how to get the response, and how to display the data. I hope you guys learned something from this tutorial. If you have any question, let me know in the comment below, or if you want me to create a custom project for you guys, you can always go to my website and request me on the contact. And thanks for the watching. Have a great day.